And we're back with Christoph Jentzsch. I'm going to give you a second to introduce yourself.
Well, Christoph Jentzsch, I worked at Ethereum Foundation 2014, then did Slockit, the DAO, and now doing Tokenize It. Short version.
Sure. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Tokenize It?
Sure. So Tokenize It, it kind of links to the DAO. It's about tokenization of organizations, but this particular organization is GmbH, so in Germany. So we have created a legal model where you can tokenize your GmbH in Germany. And so the tokens give you the same economic rights as a shareholder, but they are technically tradable on Uniswap, and you can use them within DeFi. And this was a lot of legal work which got us there, and we just launched actually this week, so people can now start using it.
Congratulations. So that's obviously a pretty different structure from the DAO, but there's some sort of through lines there. So are there any particular lessons that you learned from the DAO or any of your previous work in crypto that you feel like you're really putting into practice now?
Well, if you say the DAO was basically actually a very extreme experiment, if you want. It was very early. We basically had it completely permissionless. Everybody could go in, and a lot of people did. And it was one of the very first ERC20 tokens. So I remember back then we have to talk to the exchanges, how to integrate it, because they had no idea. So we learned a lot from this. But then also DAOs, I think, are not very suited for product development, for Silicon Valley startup-like product development. They are more suited for maintenance of protocols or public goods or community governance. That's what DAOs are really good for. But if you say you're a founder, you have your startup, you want to build a product, you maybe doing some pivots and so on, so you don't need this heavy governance of a DAO. And then you may just create an LLC in the US or a GmbH in Germany, but you still want to tokenize from day one. And this token can become a DAO in the end. But I think the DAO is more like the end stage, not the first stage. So we want to basically build a bridge. And of course, this gives you limited liability, something which is also nice sometimes.
Sure. So essentially, it seems like you're saying that this different structure allows you to sort of start with something that's more centralized, that's maybe more nimble, able to make decisions faster, more effectively. Does that? Yes.
So most startups start as an LLC or in GmbH or something similar, depending on where you are, which is also not a bad idea. You can just, and only if this takes off and becomes successful, then you can think about a more decentralized governance. And so this is what this would allow, because you start with a token from day one. Like your founder can get tokens, your business angels, families and friends. You can incentivize employees with tokens. Same as we would do with classical Web3 projects, which only have a token without any legal umbrella. But this gives you this legal umbrella with limited liability and all the things which comes with it.
So, okay, we have just a little bit of time left. If we can rewind all the way back, I'm curious what kind of drew you to this ecosystem or this technology at the very beginning, back in 2014.
So in 2014, I read a blog post from Gavin Wood about, actually this was called Web3, and he defined it as the post-Snowden era, how we own our data, we have privacy, and we would build a platform for decentralized applications. And this just drew me. I was back then, I was a Bitcoiner, in 2013, I was in Bitcoin, and this was the idea of having the same spirit as in Bitcoin, but now for everything else, be it companies, be it finance, whatever. And this just really drew my attention, and since then I just did nothing else, basically. Yeah.
Great, thank you. I think we're coming up on time, but you have a talk coming up in, is it?
4:50
at
Studio 1.
4:50, so if you want to hear more, Studio 1 at 4:50. Thank you so much.
Thank you.